Hello, my name is Bradley, and I'm your host of The Internal Game. Out here in the backyard today. I know a lot of you guys like the outdoor videos, so let's get it popping. Okay, so today is my favorite Neville Goddard shit ever, and it's when he talks about buying the pearl of great price. Okay, so I miss my whiteboard in times like this, my marker board, right? But I wrote it down to the pearl of great price. And this is in the Bible, Matthew 13. So if you're familiar with Neville, his interpretation of the Bible, like in stories in the Bible, is about different states of consciousness. And like the kingdom of heaven being your imagination, right? One of my other guys, Eckhart Tolle, he is about like the kingdom of heaven is like a within thing. It's a state of consciousness, right? So again, all coming from you, right? So Matthew 13 says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant seeking beautiful pearls, who, when he found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. So you've probably been searching for your kingdom of heaven, right? Video after video, book after book, tarot cards, psychics, signs, angel numbers, right? Like just trying to figure out, make sense of life and where you can find your happiness at, where you can find your treasure, right? And on this channel, I believe, I know that nothing exists outside of your state of consciousness. That you're calling all the shots. It's all coming from within you, right? So that's this channel. You can believe whatever you want. But today's video is about the pearl of great price. It's about buying the pearl of great price. So Neville goes on to say, this is Neville saying, it takes everything that we own as to beliefs that we think are powers that guide our life to pay for the pearl of great price. If you think you can hold on to one little thing in the event that this doesn't work, then you cannot buy the pearl. And the pearl is your wonderful human imagination. That is the pearl of great price. So, if you're getting part-time results, it's because you're embodying the state of whatever state of being part-time, right? And then because you're not seeing a result, and if you haven't bought the pearl of great price, where you're fully convinced that my imagination, my state of being, my state of consciousness is the cause of everything. If you haven't bought that, then you will continue to look. You will continue to search because you're meant to find it. Like it's what we came to do, and it's all within. And if we keep looking externally, we keep giving our powers away. I don't want to say giving our powers away, but thinking that like something outside of us is responsible, then we're going to keep looking because it's never going to be it, right? So I have seen some comments lately on the videos, not many at all, but like I want to remind you guys something. The law doesn't work part-time. Like when you hear like the law of attraction people, or I used my imagination and my vibration and my intention, and I got all this, and I got the car, I got the whatever. But when the unfavorable happens, that wasn't my fault. I didn't do that. That was somebody else. It doesn't work like that. It's one big game of awareness, and it makes no mistake. It gives you back what you're aware of. So when we look at a tarot card, right? If you were to pull a tarot card and it says, hey, this shows that your boyfriend, girlfriend's going to break up with you. In my belief, and what we do on this channel is, what I believe is that is something that you already had going on internally, or you wouldn't be able to experience it. You wouldn't be able to hear that, right? That's where you're at, right? And if you buy into that, if you say, oh my God, they're gonna break up with me, they're gonna, then congratulations, because that's going to happen now. So instead of looking, if you don't buy the pearl of great price, and you buy into things that are outside of you, you will see something like that, and you will say, "Wow, that sucks," and you believe it, and then what you believe is true becomes true. When really you could have looked at it as like a messenger saying, "Hey, man, you've got this going on internally," because you wouldn't be able to hear that if you didn't have that going on internally, and you could say, "Actually, you know what? Thank you for showing me that. I actually don't want my boyfriend or girlfriend to break up with me, so I am going to change internally." Psychics, same thing. If you call a psychic and they tell you that, you can tell you the same thing, or they tell you it's going to take you 5 years from now you're going to attract abundance. The psychic says, right? I see in your future 5 years from now you're going to attract abundance. Now, I'm not hating on any psychic. I'm not downgrading them. I'm not discrediting them. Like if they're channeling something, that's perfectly fine. I actually have no idea there's limited fucking things that could happen in this thing. It's crazy. So it's not that I believe in it or don't believe in it. I think everything's possible. But if you're hearing this from a psychic who's channeling this information, they're channeling it from you. So that's what you have going on internally, thinking, man, like there'll probably be maybe when the kids leave the house, I'll be able to do my hobby, and I can start selling the jewelry that I make, and whatever story you have going on that is saying that you can't do what you want to do now, the psychic's just going to tell you that back. And then you can either be like, oh, okay, I didn't know I had that going on in me, and you can change internally, or you can fall for the outside, not buy the pearl of great price and say, I knew it, or hey, thank you, I guess my abundance starts in 5 years, right? That's how powerful that you are, that once you agree to something, once you believe it, it's already true. But like, these are just messengers, remember? Everything's just a messenger. Signs, if you believe in signs. Neville has a great quote that I agree with, and he says, signs follow, they never precede. They never precede. Signs came into, the quote-unquote sign that you gave some kind of meaning to came into your awareness after you already had the awareness of it, or it came into your experience after you already had the awareness of it, the story of it within. You can change any sign to any different meaning at any given time, and change the sign and change the outcome. I've talked about that and changing the meaning to things. It's all coming from you, what you believe to be true. Angel numbers. Some of those are actually cool. You can actually have fun with these things, right? You can use these things as like, oh, every time I see 222, every time I see 555, I fill in the blank in a favorable manner, and that will be your thing. But to give power to anything outside of yourself is to fall for an illusion and not buy the pearl of great price. And let me tell you something, when you buy the pearl of great price, it is the ultimate freedom, because you are saying, I no longer allow anything outside, or what I perceive to be outside of me, to guide my life, because I'm only seeing these things from me anyway. But I'm in control. Again, not hitting on any of these things. Like, if you use tarot cards, if you believe what I believe, and you're on this channel and you're rocking with me, and this is how you think the game goes, then you can use tarot cards to see what's going on internally. You can use tarot cards to give something a really cool meaning and tell a story about something that's going to happen next, and then that becomes your experience. You can do the same thing with angel numbers, or anything that people deem as guiding. Astrology, right? Astrology. If you are a Gemini like myself, and you are I think it's fun. Like, I don't get too caught up into it, but I mean, like, when someone's like, hey, what are you? I'm like, a Gemini. Like, I know they're gonna be like, oh, a Gemini, huh? Like, dude, those people are crazy, bro. Like, it's like a fun experience. I would never see that I'm a Gemini, meet someone and be like, okay, they're a Capricorn. And then like go look at it and be like, oh, well, they actually don't match up. We're probably gonna have a hard time, because guess what? Now you're gonna have a hard time. Congratulations. You call the shots with the meaning that you give, with what you say yes to, with what you believe to be true. That's it. So the pearl of great price is really going all in your wonderful human imagination. Really going all in and saying my state of consciousness, what I imagine to be true, what I believe to be true, is the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter about anything else, what the outside's showing me. It doesn't matter if I'm a Gemini and someone's a Capricorn and I like them and I think that and it says that Capricorns don't usually link with Geminis, because I don't care. I say they do now. I'm fine, right? Like it doesn't necessarily matter. The Pearl of Great Price is giving up the idea that like the good things that happen to you or happen from you, like attracting a car or a relationship or money, because you set an intention and you visualized and you affirmed and that happened. But the narcissist that you keep attracting into your life, that's on him, that's not on you. That's not how this works. The Pearl of Great Price is going all in because it's actually the only truth. It's one big game of awareness. And you have to be able to give up the victim stuff, the idea that powers outside of you are responsible for what's going on in your life. I don't care what it is. It's because either you've thought about it, have imagined it, have certain beliefs, or you're just in an identity, you're in a state of being that something like that would match with. Like one of the comments that I saw yesterday, this isn't to put anyone on blast, like I'm here to give my perspective on it. It was, okay, narcissists fool everybody, even doctors, this, what they were saying. Doctors and psychologists, and it's not like, people just imagined to meet narcissists and to meet these quote unquote dangerous people. Fair enough. But if you're in a state of being that's like an empath or a state of being that like is codependent, a state of being that would match with a narcissist, it doesn't matter if you imagine it or not. You're in a state of being and you will experience what's in that state of being. With your beliefs to be true about how things are, with your beliefs, with your embodiment of codependency. Like it's just, there is no outside of you. So, and I'm gonna make a video about that because me and my wife are actually talking about that, how it doesn't matter. I'll make a video about the whole narcissist thing soon, right? But anyway, the Pearl of Great Price. Are you willing to give up every belief in anything external that you think is guiding your life, like that you think that is leading you to the next step of your life? And when you are doing these things, are you buying into it instead of looking at it as a messenger, letting you know what you already have going on internally? Because some of those things that if you're not too good internally, or at least living favorably in an ideal state, and you get back those tarot cards and talk to that psychic and read that daily astrology thing, and it's reflecting back you, and you're not really buying into that, and you accept the bad news or accept the unfavorable circumstances about to take shape because this person is losing love for you and like all that stuff, then congratulations, it is now going to be true for you. But it doesn't have to be. But you have to buy the Pearl of Great Price. I hope that made sense. I'm sure it did. But yeah, I got some success stories coming y'all's way. Super excited about it. And when I read them, you're gonna see like, man, this stuff is just like Bradley says, it's just as simple as that. You see, it's awesome stuff, right? People that are buying the Pearl of Great Price, people that are living on purpose and not letting anything tell them how things are. Okay, that's all I got. Buy the Pearl of Great Price if you're into this stuff. Like, what else do you have to lose? If you believe this stuff is true, buy the pearl. Sell everything that you own to buy this great pearl. Like, and that means give up all the beliefs, anything external, any belief of something that outside of you guides your life, and buy this pearl. Embody the state of who you actually are. So that's all I got. Kingdom is within. See you guys in the next video.